Good morning, students. How are you all? Yes, I think you all are fine. This is Prashanti ma'am. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to see another important topic from the human physiology, that is human endocrine system, right? Human endocrine system. From human endocrine system, definitely we can expect 1 to 2 questions. Okay, na? So human endocrine system, before going to the glands, so fast recap of the endocrine system we'll see. So what is endocrine system? Okay, what is the main endocrine system? See, normally we have two kinds of coordinations in our body. Yes, no? Two kinds of coordinations. One is neural coordination, another one is the chemical coordination. See, in the neural coordination we can't able to accomplish all our body functions. So what happens here, neural functions lo emotundi, neural functions are going to be regulated for only short period of time. They will regulate body functions only for short period of time, but our body needs continuous regulation and coordination. For the continuous regulation and coordination, what we require the special system, we require the special substances. So that is about the endocrine system. Means endocrine system is going to secrete the chemical substances, that is nothing but hormones. Those hormones are responsible to regulate and also coordinate all the physiological functions in the body. Okay, all the physiological functions in the body is going to be regulated by the hormones continuously. Okay, that's what we need, neural coordination, at the same time chemical coordination also. Okay, for this hormones, major hormones are going to be secreted by the two glands. So about that two glands we'll see in our class today. Okay, so what are the special glands? Hypothalamus and pituitary, right? Hypothalamus and pituitary, about these two glands. So in this video we will see, and then again the next videos I am going to upload the other endocrine glands and their secretions. So okay, without wasting time we'll start the class, right? See all of you. So first one is about hypothalamus. Hypo, below means it is present in the below surface of the thalamus, that's why it is known as hypothalamus. See, that's why. So what is the main point here? Basal part means down part of the what? Diencephalon and forebrain. So the hypothalamus is present below the diencephalon and forebrain. So you remember, no? So brain structures, forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So here this hypothalamus is present below the diencephalon and forebrain. Okay, so it contains, see, hypothalamus is going to contains many neurosecretory cells. Many neurosecretory cells means here neurons are releasing the substances. That's why these cells are known as neurosecretory cells, also known as nuclei. Okay, so this neurosecretory cells also known as nuclei. Okay, so hypothalamus, it is present in the basal part of the diencephalon and forebrain, and it contains several neurosecretory cells called nuclei. So it is releasing two types of hormones. Okay, see, this part is known as hypothalamus. This entire part is known as hypothalamus. Okay, you can see here, these are the neurosecretory cells. These two are the neurosecretory cells. That's why these neurons also known as hypothalamic neurons. Why? Because these neurons are present in the hypothalamus. That's why these neurons are known as hypothalamic neurons. It is also known as hypothalamic neurons. Okay, this entire red color portion is hypothalamus. Clear? So It is present in the basal part of the diencephalon and forebrain, and it contains several neurosecretory cells, and those several neurosecretory cells are known as nuclei, and these are releasing two types of hormones. One is releasing hormones, another one is the inhibiting hormones. Releasing hormone and inhibiting hormones. So what are releasing hormone, what are inhibitory hormones, I will say. So releasing hormones అంటే ఏంటంటే it stimulates the secretions. It stimulates the secretions అంటే ఏదైనా secretions hormones ని రిలీజ్ అయ్యేటట్టు చేస్తుంది. So it is stimulating to release that particular hormone. That's why these hormones are known as releasing hormones. Okay, these hormones are known as releasing hormones. Then so example, somatotropin. Somatotropin is the growth releasing hormone. Okay, growth releasing hormone or gonadotropic hormone. And then inhibiting hormone, it stops secretions. It is going to inhibit. Inhibition means stopping. Okay, it inhibits the secretions of the other glands. It inhibits the secretions of the other glands. Example, somatostatin. Okay, somatostatin. First one is the somatotropin, means it is stimulate the secretions, it stimulates the secretions, and here inhibiting hormones means it stops the secretions, So these are the two types of hormones, releasing hormones and inhibiting hormones. Releasing hormones example somatotropin, and inhibiting hormone example somatostatin, right? So after that, so this hypothalamus is connected with the pituitary gland. This portion, the entire portion is known as pituitary gland. So how it is connecting with the pituitary gland? It is connecting with the pituitary gland with hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract. So hypothalamo, this portion is infundibulum. Inside it contains hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract. So the duct which connects hypothalamus and pituitary is known as infundibulum. Inside the infundibulum, the neurons are connected with the pituitary gland. Okay, the neurons are connected with the pituitary gland are known as hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract. Why it is called hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract? Because hypothalamo means hypothalamus, hypophyseal means hypophysis means pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is having another name. Another name is known as hypophysis. So it is connecting both hypothalamus and pituitary. That's why it is known as hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract. Okay, clear? Then now, so we'll go to the pituitary gland. So that is about it. See, hypothalamus is completely going to control the secretions of the pituitary gland. So normally we have one point here. Pituitary gland is also known as master gland. Master gland means it is going to control and regulate the secretions of the remaining endocrine glands. But here that master gland is under the hypothalamus. This hypothalamus is going to control the secretions of the pituitary gland. So now we will see the pituitary gland, very important. Definitely we will get the Neet questions from this topic. Okay, pituitary gland. So pituitary gland is divided into two portions. You can able to see here two portions. The pituitary gland is divided into two portions, first and second. So what are the two portions? First one is adenohypophysis, second one is neurohypophysis. Okay, adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis is also known as anterior pituitary gland. Okay, anterior, front, it is present in the front part. That's why it is anterior pituitary gland. And then posterior pituitary, also known as neurohypophysis. So posterior pituitary is also known as neurohypophysis. So this other names also you should know. So adenohypophysis and then neurohypophysis. So adenohypophysis also known as anterior pituitary, neurohypophysis is also known as posterior pituitary. Okay, posterior pituitary. That again here see, adenohypophysis again divided into two portions. One is pars distalis and pars intermedia. Pars distalis and pars intermedia. Okay, so pars distalis is very important here. Why? Because it is releasing maximum hormones. Okay, so it is releasing maximum hormones. Pars distalis, pars intermedia. Okay, should know the terminology mainly. So here pars distalis, hormones. How many hormones? 6 hormones it is released. 6 hormones. So growth hormone, first one is the growth hormone. Growth hormone means in the name only it is there. It is responsible for growth. How the growth is going to be takes place? Growth ela avutundi? Bone elongation, cell division, protein synthesis, so cell differentiation. Mainly these are the 4 functions in the growth. So what are the main 4 functions? First one is the cell division, cell differentiation, protein synthesis, bone elongation. Okay, bone elongation will takes place because of the cell divisions in the epiphyseal plates. See, bone contains epiphyseal plates, so those epiphyseal plates undergoes into the cell division process. So after cell division, the bone is going to increase its length. Okay, so bone division also very important. Elongation of the bones also very important. Why? Because if there is no elongation, there is no length of the person. Okay, so here that bone elongation is done by the growth hormone. Growth hormone is responsible for the growth of the body, and it is going to be stimulate the cell divisions, cell differentiations, and then bone elongations, right, protein synthesis. So these all functions are going to be influenced by or promoted by the growth hormone. So here we have to see the abnormalities. Abnormalities means these conditions. So if growth hormone increases above the normal levels, if growth hormone releases above the normal levels అంటే ఏంటి? సో అవ్వాల్సిన అమౌంట్లో కంటే అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ రిలీజ్ అయిపోతే బాడీలో ఏంటి ప్రాబ్లం? సో ఇట్ రిలీజెస్ అబ్నార్మల్ గ్రోత్. అబ్నార్మల్ గ్రోత్ అంటే చూడడానికి ఆ పర్సన్ నార్మల్గా కనిపించాడు. ఇట్ విల్ బి హ్యూజ్ పర్సనాలిటీ లెంత్ వైజ్. సో లెంత్ వైజ్, సో దట్ disorder will be gigantism or gigantism. Okay, so the disorder will be gigantism. If that is released in the lower proportions, inadequate portions, so the body is going to show stunted growth. Stunted growth means the person will be very short. Okay, stunted growth, so that will be dwarfism. Okay, that will be dwarfism. So first growth hormone is responsible for the growth of the body. So mainly, so I said cell division, cell differentiation, and protein synthesis and bone elongation. So you when you are listening the class, you just write the full forms of the functions. Okay, so these are the 4 functions of the growth hormone. Next one, prolactin. Okay, prolactin means milk secretions. Prolactin is responsible for milk secretions. First, when the mother is going to feed the baby, first the mammary glands have to be enlarged. So mammary glands have to be enlarged, then inside the mammary glands these alveolar structures are present, no? So those alveolar structures need to be secrete the milk. So for that secretion of the milk, what is the hormone is required? Milk secrete కావాలంటే హార్మోన్ prolactin. Lacto for milk, prolactin, it is responsible for milk secretion, and also it is maintaining for corpus luteum, right? Corpus luteum, what is this corpus luteum? Corpus luteum అంటే ఏంటి? Corpus luteum is nothing but, here see, when the during the fertilization time, after fertilization, so during the fertilization time, so this Graafian follicles inside the ovaries, Graafian follicles will be there, no? Do you remember that? So Graafian follicles, it increases in size. When it is increases in size, the ovum is going to be ruptured. And it releases from the follicles. So releasing of the ovum from the follicle is known as ovulation, right? So that ovulation process, all after ovulation process, whatever the Graafian follicle, see for example this is a Graafian follicle, from inside it contains the ovum. So this ovum is going to be released out of the Graafian follicles. After releasing this ovum, so now the Graafian follicle is going to be converted into corpus luteum. Okay, it is corpus luteum. So that maintenance also done by the prolactin. So ఈ కార్పస్ లూటియం మెయింటైన్ చేసేది కూడా prolactin అంతే. సో నెక్స్ట్ TSH, థైరాయిడ్ స్టిమ్యులేటింగ్ హార్మోన్. థైరాయిడ్ స్టిమ్యులేటింగ్ హార్మోన్ means it stimulate the thyroid hormones. Thyroid hormone example, thyroxine is going to be stimulated by the TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Then ACTH, What is this ACTH? Listen, adrenocorticotrophic hormones. Adrenocorticotrophic hormones. So this controls the synthesis of steroid hormones. It controls the synthesis of steroid hormones. See, listen here, steroid hormones are nothing but androgens. Okay, androgens ante enti, male hormones are known as androgens, like testosterone. Male hormone body testosterone ni release చేస్తుంది. సో ఆ రిలీజ్ చేసే ప్రాసెస్ ని కూడా మనం కంట్రోల్ చేసే ఏంటంటే, సో దిస్ వన్ adrenocorticotrophic hormone. Okay, about this in the adrenal gland topic I will say. Why? Because so in detail we will get this. Adrenocortico means adrenal cortex is releasing. Adrenal cortex is releasing means, here for example, see here, this is the adrenal gland. Okay, so inside it contains two portions. So outer portion will be cortex and inner portion will be medulla. So in the adrenal gland it is present, no, it will be adrenal cortex, inside it will be adrenal medulla. Okay, సో బయట ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి దాన్ని అడ్రినల్ కార్టెక్స్ అంటున్నాం, ఇన్సైడ్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి వాటిని అడ్రినల్ మెడుల్లా. సో దిస్ అడ్రినల్ కార్టెక్స్ అండ్ అడ్రినల్ మెడుల్లా ఈజ్ రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ ఫర్ రిలీజింగ్ ద స్టెరాయిడ్ హార్మోన్స్. వాట్ ఆర్ ద స్టెరాయిడ్ హార్మోన్స్? హియర్ గ్లూకోకార్టికాయిడ్స్, మినరలోకార్టికాయిడ్స్. Okay, glucocorticoids, example aldosterone. Mineralocorticoids, okay, cortisol. Okay, mineralocorticoids. So these are responsible for glucogenesis, glucogenolysis, lipolysis and proteinolysis. Okay, for the breakdown of these complex molecules and releases the glucose molecules for the utilization of the body. Okay, so glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. And then luteinizing hormone, important, luteinizing hormone. So just now I told you ovulation. Ovulation ఎలా జరుగుతుందని చెప్పాను, గ్రాఫియన్ ఫాలికల్ రప్చర్ అయినప్పుడు ఓవం గ్రాఫియల్ ఫాలికల్స్ నుంచి ఫాలోపియన్ ట్యూబ్స్లోకి రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది. సో అలా రిలీజ్ అయ్యే ప్రాసెస్సే ఓవ్యులేషన్ ప్రాసెస్. సో ఆ ఓవ్యులేషన్ ప్రాసెస్కి కూడా హెల్ప్ అయ్యే హార్మోన్ ఏంటి? ల్యూటినైజింగ్ హార్మోన్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ ఫర్ ద growth of the Graafian follicles, maturation of the Graafian follicles, releasing of the ovum from the Graafian follicles. So a Graafian follicles nunchi release avvadaniki kuda help avutundi. And then it is also responsible for maintenance of the corpus luteum. Then follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone is present in both male and females. Okay, see, hormones will be separate and it will be common ఫర్ బోత్ మేల్ అండ్ ఫీమేల్. అంటే మేల్లో ఫీమేల్లో కామన్గా ఉండే హార్మోన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, స్పెషల్గా ఉండే హార్మోన్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, మేల్ కంటైన్స్ టెస్టోస్టిరాన్ హార్మోన్ అండ్ ఫీమేల్స్ కంటైన్స్ ఈస్ట్రోజన్ అండ్ ప్రొజెస్ట్రాన్ హార్మోన్స్. దీస్ ఆర్ స్పెషలైజ్డ్ ఫర్ మేల్స్ అండ్ ఫీమేల్స్. బట్ కామన్ హార్మోన్స్ ఆర్ గ్రోత్ హార్మోన్, TSH, ACTH, LH and FSH. So these are common. So common except prolactin. Okay, this prolactin is only released in the females. Then so that's why, see, so this, what is the symbol indicate? Symbol indicate female. Okay, female, and this one is the male. Female, so in females it stimulates the growth and development of the Graafian follicles. It stimulates the growth and development of the Graafian follicles. And then here in males it is responsible for androgen secretions. Androgens means what I told? టెస్టోస్టిరాన్ రిలీజ్ అవ్వడానికి, కంట్రోల్ చేయడానికి, సెక్రెషన్స్ కంట్రోల్ చేయడానికి కూడా ఫాలికల్ స్టిమ్యులేటింగ్ హార్మోన్ యూజ్ అవుతుంది. సో స్పర్మటోజెనిసిస్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద స్పర్మటోజెనిసిస్? ప్రొడక్షన్. జెనిసిస్ మీన్స్ ప్రొడక్షన్. వాట్ ఈస్ ప్రొడక్షన్? విచ్ వన్ ఈస్ ప్రొడ్యూసింగ్ హియర్? స్పర్మ్ cells are producing here, sperms are releasing here, so producing here. So that process also regulated by the follicle stimulating hormone, spermatogenesis. Then neurohypophysis. So this posterior pituitary is also known as neurohypophysis. So this neurohypophysis also releases two hormones here. One is oxytocin, another one is a vasopressin. Oxytocin and vasopressin. See, oxytocin and vasopressin. Oxytocin ekkada use avutundante, See, normalగా our entire body contains smooth muscles. సో స్మూత్ మజిల్ కాంట్రాక్షన్స్ జరగాలంటే అక్కడ మనకి కావాల్సిన హార్మోన్ ఏంటంటే ఆక్సిటోసిన్. ఓకే, సో ఎస్పెషల్గా చెప్పాలంటే యూట్రస్ కాంట్రాక్షన్స్ ఎప్పుడు ఎక్కువ అవసరం ఉంటుంది? చైల్డ్ బర్త్. డ్యూరింగ్ ద చైల్డ్ బర్త్ టైమ్ ఆక్సిటోసిన్ ఈజ్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ ద విగరస్ కాంట్రాక్షన్స్ అండ్ రిలాక్సేషన్స్. విగరస్ కాంట్రాక్షన్స్ జరిగినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే మోర్ ప్రెషర్ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు బి అప్లైడ్ ఆన్ ది యూట్రస్ సో దట్ ద బేబీ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు బి కమింగ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది మదర్ in a like a normal delivery. So during that process this uterus contractions plays very very important. So this oxytocin is responsible for that vigorous contractions of the smooth muscles in the uterus part, and it is responsible for the childbirth. Okay, and then vasopressin. What is the use of vasopressin here? Vasopressin ante meeku gurtu ravali entadi. So reabsorption of water and salts in the PCT and DCT, tubular reabsorption nephrons లో జరుగుతుంది కదా. సో నెఫ్రాన్స్లో అట్లా ట్యూబులర్ రీఅబ్జార్ప్షన్ జరిగాయి. కలెక్టింగ్ డక్ట్స్లో కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ యూరిన్ ఫామ్ అవ్వాలంటే సో కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ యూరిన్ is going to be formed only in the presence of vasopressin. So vasopressin is very very important for the formation of concentrated urine and for the reabsorption. Here I am not saying absorption, I am saying reabsorption. Why? Because second time absorption takes place. Second time jarugutundi. Mari first time ekkada jarugutundi? First time small intestine, large intestine lo reabsorption అయిపోయింది. So that's why second time the reabsorption takes place in the nephrons, so to avoid the loss of water. So that is the main function of vasopressin. Neurohypophysis. So యాక్చువల్గా ఇక్కడ మనకు ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, సో neurohypophysis is not releasing the hormones, it is just collecting the hormones. See, యాక్చువల్గా హైపోథలామస్ రిలీజ్ చేస్తుంది ఆక్సిటోసిన్ని, వాసోప్రెసిన్ని. ఎలా? త్రూ దిస్ హైపోఫైసియల్ ట్రాక్ట్ డైరెక్ట్లీ. సో this posterior pituitary direct control of the hypothalamus, neural control, so direct neural control over the posterior pituitary. So this oxytocin and vasopressin are going to be released from the hypothalamus into the posterior pituitary part. Okay, so but here మనకు anterior pituitary దగ్గర చూస్తే so neurons are releasing the hormones and that hormones into the portal circulation. This part is known as portal circulation. Through this portal circulation it is going to be released into the anterior pituitary part. Okay, so that is about the two important endocrine glands. One is hypothalamus, another one is the pituitary gland. Is it clear? Right. So I hope you all understand the video, understand this session. సో ఈ వీడియో మీకు నచ్చినట్టయితే లైక్ చేయండి, కామెంట్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి, ఇంకా మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్తో సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి. సో థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ వాచింగ్ గైస్, కీప్ వాచింగ్ మై ఛానల్. బాయ్.